All right, guys, here we go again. It's kind of strange to say this, but the Cubs in 1908 here are starting to fall out of competition. 2.5 games back. They have won one. I can't remember who they beat in their latest game. But they're 2.5 games behind the Giants. The New York Giants are really starting to streak. 22-6 are the Giants, 21-10 are the Cubs. So we'll see how this goes here. The Cubs hosting Brooklyn here today, and we'll see how this one goes. It's John Hummel to lead this one off for the Superbas. He rolls a 46 for a 27, which is a strikeout against Orville overall. One away. Here now, Tim Jordan. Jordan rolls a 56 for a 34. There is a little E roll to worry about. It's going to be a 64. It's going to be a pop out over to the shortstop, Joe Tinker, 2 gone. And here's Tommy Sheehan. Orville, by the way, overall 5-3 his record, 1.41 ERA. Those are low for everybody. And the roll here is a 12 for a 24. It's a ground ball to short. Tinker throws to first, and we go to the bottom of the first inning. Here is Frank Chance for the Cubs. Chance rolls a 32 for a 26 as a ground ball to second. Harry Patty has that on to first, 1 away. Surprised I had to go look that one up. Harry Patty's the great hero of the channel. 1 gone. Here's Johnny Evers, who rolls a 56 for a 14. He'll take his base, and that'll bring up Sheckard. Evers does have that 11, so we will have him running and rolling. The roll this time is a 45 for a 14. That means that Evers steals second base successfully, and Sheckard is still up there. The Cubs looking for an early run. 51's the roll, 9's the result. That's a single that will score the runner, and then Sheckard is thrown out trying to steal because of the little C. But it is 1-0 Cubs here in the early going. Harry McIntyre there for the Superbas, 2-3 his record and a 1.65 ERA, so the microscopic ERAs continue. And Joe Tinker now rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out. We go to the top of the second. 1-0 to score in favor of the Cubs, and this will be Billy Maloney here for the Superbas. He rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly to left, and Sheckard's got that 1 away. Al Birch up there now, hitting 176. He's hitting 5th. That gives you an idea of how depressed the averages are. He rolls a 14 for a 43. Another fly ball to Sheckard, 2 away. Phil Lewis is hitting 194, the shortstop. He rolls a 36 for a 33. That's a pop-up. The second baseman Evers has that, and we go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Harry Steinfeld. Harry's doing well. All the Cubs are hitting well. They just need to win more games. Steinfeld rolls a 46 for a 29. Comebacker to McIntyre, throws to first. There's 1 away. Wildfire Schultz now. He rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. That's 2 strikeouts for McIntyre. And up comes Jimmy Slagle. Jimmy hitting 248. And that rolls a 41 for a 28 ground ball to short, and Lewis has it on to first, and we go to the top of the third. It'll be catcher Bill Berrigan here for the Superbas. He rolls a 63 for a 30, another fly ball to left, and Sheckard has it 1 away. And here's our hero, Harry Patty, hitting a whopping 132. And he's slow, too, when he gets on base. And look at that, he struck out. Rolls a 24 for a 13, and there's 2 away. Now it's Harry McIntyre. And Harry rolls a 63 for a 30, fly ball to left, and Sheckard has it once again. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Pat Moran up for the Cubs. Rolls a 65 for a 35. There's a little E roll. It's going to be a 44 out of the range, and so that's going to be a foul out to the left side. The third baseman Sheehan has that for the out, 1 away. Here's that pitcher, Orville overall, who's actually hitting 364. You should have him hitting first. He rolls a 36 for a 33 pop-up to the left side, and to the right side. Harry Patty's got that 2 away. Frank Chance now rolls a 13 for a 14 and takes his base on the walk, and so we can do some hit and run magic now with Johnny Evers up. Rolls a 51 for a 10, and Chance goes to third. Evers gets the base hit, then steals second. Runners on at second and third. 2 outs here at bottom of the third for the Cubs. That's the way the Cubs roll. Here is Jimmy Sheckard, and he rolls a 14 for a 43. There is a little E roll, but it's a 61. It's out of the range. Fly ball left field. Hummel's got that, and we go to the top of the fourth, and there is John Hummel leading it off. Hummel hitting 287, one of the few bright spots for the Superbas. Rolls a 23 for a 32. Fly ball to right. Schultz has that 1 away. Tim Jordan comes up next. Rolls a 34 for a 44. It's a fly ball to center, and Slagle's got that 2 away. And here's Tommy Sheehan. Sheehan's hitting 256, having a hard time getting any power. But here you go. The roll's an 11 for a 0. The next one's a 23 for a 6. That'll be a double to right center field, and there goes the no-hitter. Billy Maloney comes up now, runner in scoring position. He's driven in 11. He does have the ability to hit. The first 4 for the Superbas are not bad. Once you get past that, though, it's death. And Maloney rolls a 63 for a 30, fly ball to left. Sheckard's got that for the out, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Joe Tinker here for the Cubs, up once again against Harry McIntyre. Tinker rolls a 25 for a 10. That'll be a single straight to center field, and that'll bring up Harry Steinfeld. Now, does Tinker have that 11? He does. So once again, we'll hit and run. I prefer hit and running to bunting. The roll here is a 53 for a 19, and that means McIntyre got in too close and ended up hitting Steinfeld. Runners on first and second now, and the Cubs are hoping to add to their lead. Now, here's the question. Do you bunt in this case or swing away? 12 RBIs for Schultz. I prefer to have him swing away. And he rolls a 51 for a 9, and that's a single infield hit, and that will load the bases here for Jimmy Slagle. Slagle with 14 men batted in. The infield will come in, but he is going to swing away. There's nobody out, bottom of the 4th. This game is going to be broken open. The roll is a 63 for a 30. Fly ball left field. Hummel's got that. Nobody can move up, so there's one away, and here comes Pat Moran. Moran hitting 227. He's only driven in 4. A little bit of pressure on him here. The roll is a 32 for a 26, and that's a single through the drawn-in infield, and that will drive in 2, and Schultz goes to third, and he did it. 3-0 Cubs, and that will open this game up considerably. Here's Orville overall. Rolls a 63 for a 32. Fly ball to right. Birch has it for the out. 2 away only, and that'll bring up Frank Chance. So 3-0 Cubs, bottom of the 4th inning. McIntyre's pitched well, but not that well. Chance rolls a 15 for an 11. There's another single with left field that'll drive in another run. 4-0 Cubs, and they have 6 hits to the Superbas 1. Up next is Johnny Evers, and he rolls a 51 for a 10, and that's going to be a strikeout. Strikeout picked up by McIntyre at just the right time, but 3 score for the Cubs, and we go to the top of the 5th inning. 4-0 Cubs. Here's Al Birch. Leads this one off, rolls a 53 for a 17. It's changed to a 21. That'll be a ground ball over to Chance, who boots it for an error. And so the Superbas have a man on first and a chance to do some hitting and running of their own. And here's Phil Lewis rolling a 66 for a 0. Then a 42 for a 2. That's going to be a triple to right field. That'll score the run, but then sadly Lewis tries to turn it to an inside the park home run and is thrown out. That goes Schultz to Evers and then on to Moran. That's what happens when you hit and run. So 1 away now, but it's a 4-1 ball game. Brooklyn's on the board. Here's Bill Bergen. Bill rolls a 45 for a 14, and he finds a way to get on base. Overall, struck out 48 so far this season, but he has walked 21 in 74 innings, so that is his weakness. And that'll bring up our hero, Harry Patty. We'll swing away with him. Roll is a 64 for a 29. It's a comebacker over to overall. He throws over to Tinker at second, and they get the lead runner. 2 away, and here's Harry McIntyre. Harry rolls a 65 for a 35. It's a pop-up to the catcher. Moran's got that for the out. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Jimmy Sheckard here for the Cubs. And Jimmy rolls a 45 for a 14. He'll take his base on the walk, and he does have an 11. So it's back to the races. Here now is Joe Tinker. He rolls a 41 for a 28. Ground ball to short. Lewis has it on to first, and Sheckard moves up to second. 1 away. Here comes Harry Steinfeld. He rolls a 24. There we go for a 13 and strikes out. There's 2 away. Here's Schultz. So McIntyre struck out 4. He's walked 3, though. Schultz rolls a 51 for a 9. That'll be a ground ball over to the first baseman, Jordan, who takes it to the bag himself. And we'll go to the top of the 6th inning. So Cubs in control of this one, and they need the win, definitely. Here's John Hummel for the Superbas, hoping for some sort of miracle. He rolls a 21 for a 30. It's another fly ball to left, and Sheckard is there for the out, 1 away. Tim Jordan up. He'll roll a 25 for an 8. Ground ball to short. It's Tinker on to first, 2 away. Here comes Tommy Sheehan, and he rolls a 66 for a 0. Next roll is going to be a 35 for a 6. That'll be a double to right center. So overall, giving up just a few hits, but some of them have been quite powerful. That's the 3rd hit of the game for the Superbas. That'll bring up Billy Maloney with the runner on at second. Billy rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out, and we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Jimmy Slagle here for the Cubs, still with a 4-1 lead. Jimmy rolls. It's a 43 for a 29. Comeback over to McIntyre, throws to first, and there's 1 away. Here's Pat Moran. And Pat rolls a 13 for a 14. He'll take his base, and that'll bring up, of course, the pitcher. Overall is going to bunt. Rolls a 62 for a 12. There is a little E roll. It's a 31 just out of the range. That'll be a bad bunt. Sheehan, the third baseman, has it. Throws over to Lewis covering at second base for the lead runner. There's 2 away now with Frank Chance coming up. A slow runner on at first. Chance rolls a 25 for a 10, so he'll get his base hit. He singles to right center, then steals second. Overall moves over to third, and that'll bring up Johnny Evers again. That's the way these Cubs hit. 7 hits now for the Cubs, looking to add on to their lead. And Evers rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a pop-up to the left side. Sheehan has it for the out, and we'll go to the top of the 7th. Al Birch up here for the Superbas. So far today, he's 0 for 2. He did reach, though, on an error, and he scored a run. And his roll is a 66 for a 0. The next roll is 13, for a 4, and that'll be a double to left field, and that will bring up Phil Lewis. So runner on at second base for the Superbas, down by 3, top of the 7th. Lewis, 200 average, has driven in only 7. And his roll is a 13 for a 39, changed to a 37, and that means that the runner's cut off of second base, and that's just typical for Brooklyn from this time period. 1 away, Lewis still up there. He rolls a 46 for a 29. That's a strikeout again. Overall has struck out 4. 2 gone, and here's Bill Bergen. And he rolls a 56 for 34. It's a pop-up on the infield. Tinker's got that for the out. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, still a 4-1 lead for the Cubs. Jimmy Sheckard will lead this off for the Cubs. 248 is what he's hitting. He rolls a 66 for a 0. 35 then for a 6, and that'll be a double to right center field. Hit number 8 for the Cubs as they're starting to rip apart Brooklyn pitching. Up next is Joe Tinker. Tinker rolls a 21 for a 30. Fly ball to Hummel and left, not deep enough to advance Sheckard. 1 away. Steinfeld rolls that's a 51 for a 9. That'll be a ground ball to Jordan at first, and he goes to the bag himself, and there's 2 away. Up next is Schultz. Rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a little ground ball over to Harry Patty, who just throws to first for the out. And we go to the top of the 8th. 4-1 the score. Brooklyn still hoping to come back, and here is Patty. His average has fallen to 129 as he's 0 for 2 today. And his roll is a 62 for a 12. There is a little E that might bail him out. Yep, 13 is the roll. That's going to be an error on the shortstop, Tinker. And so Patty ends up on first base. Now he's rated as slow, but it's kind of funny because he does have a bunch of 11s because he stole a bunch of bases. So what we can do with him is we can hit and run with him despite the fact that he's slow. Here's McIntyre, and he rolls, ooh, look at that, a 15 for an 8. It's going to be a ground ball over to the second baseman, Evers, who throws to first, and Patty goes up to second, 1 away. Here's John Hummel. 2 chances now to score this run. And Hummel rolls the 25 for an 8. It's a ground ball back to overall. He throws to first. Patty moves to third. 2 gone, and here's Tim Jordan. And Jordan rolls a 63 for a 31. Fly ball center field. Slagle's got that for the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It will be Jimmy Slagle up there for the Cubs. 4-1 game. Slagle rolls a 41 for a 28. Ground ball to Lewis, who throws to first. There's 1 away. Pat Moran up next. Rolls a 32 for a 26. Ground ball this time to Harry Patty, who throws to first, and there's 2 gone. And here is Orville Overall, the pitcher. Of course, he's staying in this game. Rolls a 25 for a 23. Changed to 38. That's a ball. Next roll is a 35 for a 13, and down he goes. Strikes out. That's strikeout number 5 for McIntyre against 4 walks. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. So it's a 4-1 ball game. The Superbas only with 4 hits so far in this one, and they've left 4 men on. Tommy Sheehan will lead this off. Rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a ground ball to Tinker at short, who throws to first. There's 1 away. Billy Maloney up next, and he'll roll a 32 for a 26. Another ground ball, this time to Evers, who throws on to first. 2 gone. And that brings up the last hope, which is Al Birch. He rolls a 52 for a 27, and that's a strikeout, number 5 there for overall. And that does it. So the Cubs win this one 4-1, and they keep their hopes here in the National League in 1908 alive. I know we're only 32 games into their season, but the Giants are playing pretty well, so they better get it going here soon. Final score again, 4-1 Cubs. I'll talk with you later. Bye.